You wrote 4 paragraphs to say you'd be 5 minutes late. You reread it 11 times before hitting send. You added sorry again at the end, even though you'd already said sorry twice. And your stomach still dropped the second you clicked send anyway, over a message about being 5 minutes late. Isn't really about the email. It's not about being unprofessional or bad at writing or too much. Here on ADHD Resolve, we look at what's actually happening underneath moments like this one. Because there's a real, researched reason your brain treats a 2-line message like a legal defense you have to build from scratch. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why one short reply can feel like standing in a courtroom and why more words has always felt safer to you than fewer. You're not broken. You're not dramatic. Something specific and identifiable is happening in your brain, and it actually has a name. Researchers use the term Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria, or RSD, to describe this. Think of it like a smoke alarm that's wired a little too sensitively. A normal alarm goes off when there's an actual fire. This one goes off from a single piece of burnt toast, and your whole body reacts like the entire house is burning down around you. That's what RSD does with rejection. It isn't really about rejection itself. It's about how loud and how fast the alarm rings, even when the actual danger is tiny or completely imaginary. So picture this. You send your boss a 1-line status update. Nothing angry in it, nothing pointed. But your brain reads it back and instantly imagines every worst-case meaning hiding inside those few words. Before you've even finished rereading it, your chest tightens and your palms go warm. That's why you go back in and add 3 more sentences explaining your reasoning, your timeline, your intentions, just in case. You're not over-explaining because you're insecure. You're trying to put out a fire that biologically feels completely real to your nervous system, even though nobody else in the building can smell any smoke at all. This same alarm doesn't only go off in emails. Picture a team meeting where your manager says, "Let's revisit this later," about a project you've been working hard on. Nothing harsh in the words, nothing personal. Just a normal, instantly forgettable sentence for most people in the room. But you replay it the entire drive home, wondering if later secretly meant this wasn't good enough and I didn't want to say it out loud. That night, you draft a mental explanation in the shower, one you'll probably never even get to deliver to anyone. Same alarm, completely different room. Or think about texting a friend back a little later than usual and immediately typing out a 3-line explanation for the delay, even though they never once asked where you'd been. Research suggests this pattern shows up anywhere feedback, silence, or a flat tone could possibly be read as judgment, not only at work. The setting keeps changing, the trigger keeps changing, but the response is always that same oversized fire response to what was really a very normal-sized spark. Once you notice this exact pattern repeating in more than one part of your life, it stops looking like a personality flaw and starts looking like exactly what it is: a wiring pattern reacting the same way every time, regardless of the room you happen to be standing in. Here's the story you've probably been told, maybe even by yourself, late at night: that you're insecure, that you're needy for reassurance, that if you were only more confident, you'd send the short version and simply move on with your day like everyone else does. That story is wrong, and honestly, it's been making you feel worse for years without ever actually helping you. Confidence has nothing to do with how sensitively a smoke alarm happens to be wired. You can be completely certain you did nothing wrong at all and still feel your entire body brace for impact the second you hit send on a message. That's not insecurity. That's a nervous system responding to a threat signal that fires faster and stronger than it does for most people around you. Research on RSD suggests this reaction is tied to how ADHD brains process emotional intensity, not to low self-esteem, not to a character flaw, and definitely not to a lack of professionalism. The reality is, your brain isn't overreacting just to punish you or slow you down. It's trying to protect you, the exact same way any alarm tries to protect a house. It's simply been calibrated to react to far less smoke than the room actually contains. Once you understand this is a wiring pattern and not a personal failing you somehow chose, something genuinely shifts. You stop trying to talk yourself out of the reaction in the exact moment it hits because you already know arguing with a smoke alarm mid-ring rarely works for anyone. Instead, you can slowly learn to recognize the ring for what it actually is, a signal, not a fact about reality. That short email from your boss wasn't a verdict on your work. It was just short, the way most emails are. The pause before your friend replied wasn't proof of anything at all. It was simply a pause, nothing more. You don't have to fully silence this alarm to start living differently around it. You just have to gently start asking, before you write 4 more paragraphs to prove yourself, whether there's really any smoke in the room at all, or whether it's just your alarm doing what it's always done. Has ever sent your whole nervous system into overdrive? Hear this clearly. You're not too sensitive, and you were never overreacting. Your brain is simply wired to sound the alarm early. That's the entire mechanism behind it. Understanding that is the real first step toward no longer carrying the weight of every short reply home with you at the end of the day. If this explains something you felt for years but never quite had the words for, subscribe to ADHD Resolve. We're breaking down the ADHD brain, one piece at a time.